we're fixing this freezer.
But that's not the only thing. We also need to go into the engine room and rip out some other stuff, so teleport. It's been a minute since I last crawled into the bilge like this. Anyways, what we have here is the compressor unit for our old fridge sitting in the galley. As far as we care, this doesn't work. We've already deleted the through hull for it, and we're gonna rip this out and replace it with a fancy air-cooled unit that we bought off eBay. It's been an adventure getting here. We bought all this stuff back in like July, but then we had various ideas about the electrical side of it that don't really matter anymore. But we did have to go down a bit of a rabbit hole before we got to this point. Like, just before this, we just go off onto that side quest and figure out some stuff about the breakers.
So we're getting ready to install a new refrigerator. We're going through and making sure that we can wire it appropriately. It needs a 15 amp breaker. So I've gone through and I'm mapping the old electrical system to make sure that we can do it. The old unit says it needs a 15 amp breaker, so it should be no problem, right? But we've been told that there were issues with the old refrigerator. So I'm double checking everything. Wire size is good, everything up to the distribution board is great, but this appears to be a 10 amp breaker. So I need to go find a 15 amp breaker. But I also know if we open this up, it's been nicely organized. However, I've noticed some of these leads are dead ends. So some of our breakers don't do anything, and some do something. And we also have all these numbers on the wires that we can use. So we're gonna try and figure that out. Quickest way to figure out where a wire goes?
Continuity check.
Do a continuity check. And table. Yeah. So we start on the first column, first row. That's not how it's supposed to work. Is it because it's on? Alright. So we go over here. Wire number is 1. It goes into a red wire. Into another red wire. Nice. Breaker is a 20 amp. So we're basically just gonna do this.
Yep.
Over and over for the rest of the board.
Yeah. I'm just going to do that for the next 31 switches. It's gonna take a while.
Yep.
Alright, you're back from the side quest. So, to do this, I'm just gonna snip everything and yank it off the wall.
So we got these two. These are the tubes that go to the evaporator plate. We got those off. Now I'm gonna loosen some things. I'm gonna yank this off the wall. Sure. Got it off the wall. Now what? Can you move my phone? I'll probably stop recording too. How about I put it over here? I'm gonna set this. Where should we take it? I don't know. Let me guess. It weighs somewhere between like a crap load and
Yeah, pretty much.
a boop ton.
You have an idea of how much it weighs now.
Yeah.
It's insane. Oh, that's a lot of space it makes.
Yeah, I'm gonna put something about that same size up there.
Yeah.
We got the old fridge off the wall. And so what this means next, going around
next up, we're pulling this out, we're pulling this out. Alright, back door.
We're looking at the back side of this. These are not any kind of threaded connection, so it'll honestly probably like brazed or formed into this thing, so we're gonna have to pull all of this way into this space, which sucks, but it is what it is.
Last thing we need to do for the demo is we have these two blue hoses back there. One of them, I don't know which one it is, but it runs this way over here across the engine. And right here there was a pump and strainer that went to a through hole that was over there. Yeah. Anyways, all that's been deleted and changed long ago. So now we just need to remove the old hose. It's gonna be more challenging as one of these blue hoses goes back this way, and it goes from here in the engine room out the engine room. Follows the drive shaft up into underneath one of the bunks, then into the cabinet under the aft sink. So now I'm just gonna pull all that out real quick. Yeah.
Why? Yes, there's one. Alright, I'm just gonna yank it out.
What do you need from me?
Trash bag, ready to go around my feet. Alright, out it goes.
There's no more blue hoses. With that, the demolition is over. Can now get to building things now. Yeah, let's do that.
It's the next day. Last night we got the box all nice and clean. We both had our heads deep into it, feet basically on the ceiling. This morning, went to Harbor Freight. We picked up a vacuum pump so that we can vacuum the system and then properly charge it. So now I am preparing to bend and install the evaporator plate.
This is our evaporator plate. It is massive. Let me get a measurement. That sucker comes in at about 39.5 inches there. Long. And about 10 inches tall. So it is massive. And we can only bend it in like 1, 2, maybe a third.
The problem I now have to solve is where to bend it, how to bend it, and will it even fit once we bend it the way I think I'm gonna bend it. Maybe luckily. We bought that vacuum pump this morning and we saved the box. And maybe we can make use of that box to make a template for us. Alright, let's get to it. Yeah. That's something. In goes the template. See if this try does it. I've substantially stiffened it, so it can drop straight in. And then we need to rotate. Might just barely get it in.
I have a bit of a plan figured out for how we're gonna bend it. So basically we're gonna bend in this section here, and since we don't want to bend on any verticals, we don't want to bend much further than about here for the start of the bend. But before that, we only have 1 and 2 holes, so I'm gonna drill another hole here and another hole up in here so that we can then mount this. Actually, yeah, so we can mount it. Drill the holes, bend it, then get it installed. Yeah.
Alright, call it good. Holes are drilled. Alright, ready? Ready? Yeah. Here we go. There, bent. Right, let's see if he screwed it up. It is now in. The evaporator plate's in. Yippee! Got some plans laid up here. This piece here, that's going to be a shelf for the compressor to sit on. Then we're going to make 2 triangles. They're going to be legs that then go into this board and then serves as the thing that goes against the wall. So, gonna get this drilled out, cut, and then hopefully can get this mounted in the engine room. Yeah! I've gotten the shelf built. The compressor is just gonna sit up on top, and then 4 screws into the wall, and it'll just
sit like that on the wall. Now it's time to hop in the engine room, get the shelf mounted, and then we can mount the compressor onto the shelf. Yeah, let's do this. I now have the shelf complete. We have a little fuse block thing here for power, because we want to reuse the old power, but it's got the wrong connector, and we need spades here, but it's actually the round terminals on the 6-gauge wire that the previous fridge had. So I've put this on, this little fuse block, because we had this laying around, and negative, it's just gonna be a bolt wrapped in electrical tape. I'm gonna take the compressor off the shelf, and we'll get this shelf mounted. Yeah, let's do it. We are in the engine room. We're gonna be mounting the shelf probably somewhere about here. Alright, let's get to it. I'm gonna set the camera down. Oh, that feels pretty secure. Simon! I want to show you something, and I need your help. Yeah, I want to show you something first. Nice. Next, I need help with the compressor. I need you to put it like here. And put it on cardboard to keep it from scratching the floor. Yes. Where do you want it? Like here, if you can. Close to me as you can get it. That works. Perfect. What was I worried about? Alright. There, you have. You get your screws right there. Yep. That actually looks really good. Alright, we now have the compressor pretty much installed. Now we just need to go do a couple other things and
be able to hook the rest of it up. Oh my god, it's coming together! I am very happy with this shelf too. Like, seriously, look at how that thing's built. And it's strong. And it's holding it all together. And the cables are gonna be nicely managed, and yeah. This is gonna be pretty good when it's done. And it looks so nice sitting there. Yeah, okay. I'm gonna extricate myself from the bilge, and we'll go do some other things. Like get maybe the controller installed. Yeah! So, companionway, galley, stove. Here, under this is our fridge. And right here is a nice little wall. Usually doesn't have more than like a loaf of bread or some banana sitting there. And I'm currently thinking that'd be a great place for this little controller thingy-majig. I've gone ahead and I've sketched out where I'm going to cut. I think that's gonna be a decent spot. And it's nice in line with the outlet there, so it should look nice and appropriate. Yeah, so I think I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna score on the inside of this rectangle and then multi-tool it out. Save a piece of wood, because I like doing that. And we'll have a hole for this to go in and get it all wired up. Yeah, let's do this. So we have screw terminals on here. And they're really tiny. And they have big wires. Yeah, so screw terminals, 14 gauge wire. So we don't, ideally it would be ferrule connections, but we don't have any ferrule connections on the boat, and I don't really feel like hunting those down at a West Marine. So instead, I'm just gonna solder the ends. Yep. Just gotta. This is probably not the right solder anyways. Back in the engine room. Got the wiring done. It's all hooked up. We've already did a smoke test, and woo! Lights! We have lights, so things should work. Now it is time for charging the system. Let's take a look at that. The heart of doing all this is this manifold here. There are 4 lines coming off of the manifold. Starting from left to right. Left, the blue is suction. Black is vacuum. Yellow is charge. Red is high pressure. The blue goes onto the suction side of the compressor. The red goes onto the high pressure side of the whole unit. Black goes to the vacuum pump we had to source. Yellow gets to go here to a scale with kind of refrigerant on it. We'll be hooking this up when we're ready. Got the generator started, might hear in the background. I've gone through, made sure everything's ready. The valves are closed on the manifold. I think it's time we start the vacuum pump. Let's see if there's any leaks. Ready? 3, 2, 1. Take 2.
How long does it draw?
I don't know actually.
Does it have a switch or anything?
Also don't know. So, we've done that. Step 3, open D valve. What's D valve? D is the vacuum valve.
pulled vacuum a couple times, and it's been for at least 10 minutes. It's held the vacuum, so you likely don't have any leaks, and the system should be dry and ready to go. So I'm gonna just close things up, and we're gonna set up for filling it with some refrigerant. Yeah. Wait. Action. Close you. Close you. And close you. Alright. Open. See. Pressure? Not yet. Not until we open up blue and red. Open A. Which is blue. Okay, this is where we should see pressure. Something decided to leak. Well, this is. I was using the manifolds wrong earlier, which is causing us some issues. I had both the blue side and the red side, the suction side and the pressure side both open while trying to fill, and that wasn't working. Note for future self, open the suction side, and then crack open the supply, the yellow one.
You mean that's how the manual tells you to do it?
Yeah, but brain messed it up in the head, whatever. Now we're doing it right, and I don't know if it's coming through, but I can hear the bubbles going through the evaporator. I'm gonna go check that out.
We replaced the lid seal on the fridge, and that closes off the project. The fridge is now running. It runs at about 39 degrees pretty well, and we're able to keep 2 pounds of chocolate in the fridge. Yay!
Now that the project's done, some astute viewers might notice the mountain in the background and the lack of palm trees. Because we have traveled out here to middle of Montana in the Bitterroot Mountains to visit some family. And how we got from Canaveral to here, we'll cover that in the next video.
Yep.
So, thank you for watching.
See you next time.